episode of It's Debatable NBA edition. I'm your host, Justin Jones, here with co-host Sebastian Pluvios. And we can tell by the intro we're talking basketball. So I've seen reports that, the NBA's viewership, just to start the season, has been down compared to previous years, right? A lot of people had a lot of, speculation and their takes on what's really going on and why it is down. I'm gonna start. Well, you don't even want to hear, so Seb, your opinion on the NBA's viewership being down.
Well, to me, I think the reason why the viewership down, there's a lot of reasons. I think for one, League Pass be too expensive. I'm gonna start right there. League Pass be mad expensive. You can't even watch your home games right now, like because you have to have it on cable. Nobody really uses cable like that no more. Every now all these streaming sites, they have Max. You have Netflix, Hulu. You have all these things now that people use. I don't think like this is back in the day where everybody had cable. Everybody would just tune into like your local channel. I believe what MSG was on a certain channel. Even watching a Nets game, you could watch it on Channel 9 and shit like that. Nobody's really doing that no more. And it's more so it's like we could watch these games now on like Streams East app and all that other sites that you could get. Feel me? For less,
Shout
for
out
free
Stream
actually.
East.
Yeah, shout out Stream East. You can watch anything you want for free. So now I think that plays a part. And another thing is, I don't think, yeah, superstars are not playing too as well. So now you have all this, you're paying all this money, and you don't know if you're gonna watch a Joel Embiid matchup versus Nikola Jokic because damn near Joel Embiid's out half the time. A lot of these superstars are out now with injury, and it's like I think we starting to see a repetitive thing to where we seeing the same basketball being played with all these different teams. Like I feel like everybody's just shooting as much threes as they can get up possible, and that's the new NBA. Usually, there's like a unique style. So when you see somebody play, like if you watch like LeBron James versus Kevin Durant matchup back in the day, that was like on ESPN on like a Wednesday night. They have like a different style of matchups. Now I feel like everybody sort of kind of plays similar in their approach to the game. Everybody wants to, shot chuck. Not people are just being versatile with their style of offense. So I think people have a disinterest in that, especially now the role players too. Back in the day, a role player probably get like maybe like three or four threes that he gets to put up. Now the most casual role player could get at least 10 threes up a game. Nobody's really trying to see that. Like I'm really trying to see like the best play and everybody have their unique style of basketball. I feel like basketball is so copied now to where when you watch it, like a lot of threes are going to be taken. Nobody's really emphasizing the mid range. We don't see players doing work on the post like how they used to. Like it's just as much like 3 pointers you can get up.
Right, so you definitely made a lot of great points. You touched on a lot of things. The injuries I think is definitely a major thing. We have a lot of our top stars just not playing. To be previous episode we talked about Kawhi Leonard, who still isn't playing. Right, Joel Embiid, who now is playing. At about 60%. And he wasn't there to start the season, right? So those are two of the when healthy top 10 players just not playing, right? You got for the Bucks, Chris Middleton isn't playing, right? Orlando Pablo Banchero had went down. You know,
Zion, Paul
right,
George,
right, Zion, Paul George. So there's just a lot of top stars not playing. So kids
KD,
who,
like
right,
the list is crazy.
even look at the Paul George thing, right? How many of the young up and coming stars, people in college and high school, who are they saying is their goal? Right?
Straight
I'm
Paul
hearing
George,
a
yeah.
lot of people say Paul George. So now, if he's not even playing, are the young kids watching? Right? So I definitely think you made a great point there. Right. But even to start the season, I think some things that hindered it a little bit. We had the election, that kind of was going on at the same time of the start of the year. So you
Right.
have a lot of the older people, right? People are aging up now who was really focused in on that. That was a very big thing. Donald Trump, Kamala Harris, right? So I think people had their eyes on that. You had the World Series, right? We all know the baseball fans out there, the Dodgers and the Yankees,
All right.
right? Shout out to the Los Angeles Dodgers, for winning their world title. I think we had a lot of eyes on that. Um, I think those were two major things that, kind of hindered the process. And then you brought up another good thing, the streaming services. I can't even remember the last time I had cable, right? So I can't you can't catch the local MSG game, the local Brooklyn Nets game, right? I remember as a kid, I used to watch the Knicks, and I caught all those games right there on MSG, watching the Knicks and the Boston Celtics go at it, you know. So you definitely made a great point there. But now you do have things like Stream East, crack streams, like whatever streams they have out there that is going on. People are trying to do it that way, but once the NBA gets a sniff of that, they're gonna try to weed out all these streams because that's messing up the revenue, right? From the NBA, all these media deals. You brought up the HBO Max and the Netflix and all these great things that is good, but then I feel, looking at it from the NBA's point of view, I don't think they necessarily want the streaming, the ones that aren't major companies. Of course they're making money with the Max and the Netflix, but Stream East and NBA has no partnership.
Right.
Right, and I feel like there's a lot of people watching the Stream East. I'm one of them because I'm not paying for League Pass and all these crazy things, and that's just what it is, right? But we talked about the injuries, and I think that's something that is very concerning. But I wanted to ask you, why is it now that we're seeing all these players get hurt a lot more than even back in the day? But now we have modern medicine, more advanced doctors, all these things. I want to hear from you. What's going on with the NBA players of today?
Shoot, I think right now, I think the game has been so much faster. I think we play at more such a faster pace, getting up and down and putting on more points. I feel like it's more wear and tear to the body. I do believe like back in the day, the game was a little more slower in how it was played. Like it was more all like it was more offensive. Like I'll say what half core oriented, and we're not really running up and down. Like these teams nowadays, the league has gotten younger too. So we got a whole bunch of young guys in the league now that are playing at a fast pace. Like we're leading in like fast break points. Like a team like the Houston Rockets, they get up and down the floor. The Sacramento Kings, they get up and down the floor. I think now the game more so you have to be way more conditioned and you have to be able to take the wear and tear because due to the fact that now it's like these games go to like what 140 points being put up. So really think about how much like up and down the court you're really getting at, how much offense you're getting at. The game usually slows
But it
down.
seems that we. No, my fault. It seems like your connection. It said your connection was lost. Go ahead, Seb. You're good.
All right. Yeah, so like to that point exactly, to where now I feel like the game now is just a very fast paced game, and not only that, you're playing back to back nights. You don't really have time to recover, so you could go from a team like playing the Houston Rockets that could put up like 130, then you could play like the Sacramento Kings with a guy like Darren Fox and all these other young guys. They're gonna be running up and down the floor trying to get these big baskets too. So it's like a guy like who Joel Embiid now, who has these knee problems, who has lingering injuries and he's getting up there in age. It's like, damn, I gotta really do this on a back-to-back night basis. So I feel like these guys are like, I wouldn't say like they're getting old, but they're up there in age now to where these younger stars are like they're running them out the league basically.
Nah, but okay, okay. So,
Yeah, not
mm,
everybody could like
I like.
be
Hold
on
on.
those some
I
LeBron
like your
shit.
point. I like your point of the pace of play. I think that could have a factor in what's going on, but I can't say these back to back. They was playing back to backs forever. So when I'm not doing this, they're playing back to back. I think the problem is that in the off season, right? I don't think the NBA players are doing what they're supposed to do to have their body in peak performance, right? Let me ask you, how many of these stars do you see playing in preseason?
Not too many. They don't really play like the first two games or whatnot.
Right. But now it's like if you're not getting those reps in and then you're just coming into the season, right, your body may react the wrong way. Right? I think you're gonna have to, before the season starts, you gotta get your body in peak position. You brought up LeBron James, the one who's gonna have those mini camps, right? The one that's gonna pay millions of dollars to work on his body. A lot of people should watch him and try to follow that template because it seems like the young kids don't know what they're doing. right? Because you talked about the young kids running them out the league. So what's Zion's excuse? He's not old, right? But it so what is
I just
he
think
not?
his excuse, it's not even an excuse. It's more so like he knows what he's doing, which is very disappointing too, because it's like it's always an injury with him too. So I don't get it. His body's feeling him like he's Chris Middleton, like he's Joel Embiid, like he's Paul George. He's probably like what, 24 years old, 23 years old. He's not even old to be having to go through all these injuries, which is like the crazy part to me. A guy like John Morant too, like like
Right, right, right. But
I don't
then
understand
we
it.
have to we have to remember, I know, just playing sports, just growing up, right? What do they tell you to do before you start playing?
Stretch.
Right. And then why do they do that?
Shit, to different. Oh shit! 1 second. Sorry about that. Let me put this on. I should have done this a long time ago. Uh,
Right, right. But I was saying they tell us to stretch because that also helps to prevent from injury. If you just go from waking up to just doing a vigorous workout or playing a 48-minute game, playing football, baseball, soccer, whatever you're doing, that the body's not going to react right. Right. So now if you got these players who's not playing preseason, no summer league, even though they don't really have to play that, but you're not really doing too much activeness throughout the off season. You're trying to get now, just get ready for the next season. I just don't think their bodies are reacting the right way, right? Because people back in the day didn't have these type of doctors, they didn't have these type of medicines, they didn't have any of this, and we seen less and less injuries, right? I think this comes down like this goes for a lot of things, and this becomes a whole life thing. The money is just not the money in the NBA. I think has now babied these NBA players to where they don't really got to do much. Like
yeah, I
it's like
think
they get paid, and then it's like fuck it. Joel Embiid just got a contract extension this summer for what?
for a good amount too. Trust me. He's good for the rest of his life. He's good for the rest of his
Kawhi
life.
Leonard just signed an extension. He hasn't played, so why did he get this extension?
I mean, you got to keep somebody to fill the seats in. People want to wait for Kawhi Leonard. People want Joel Embiid. People want to go watch Joel Embiid when he's on the court. You don't want to lose out on that.
So the Steve Ballmer.
I don't think teams really
Go
want to
ahead, go
go
ahead, go
through a
ahead, Chef.
rebuild. Like I think a lot of that, like a guy like Steve Ballmer, like they don't want to go through a rebuild. We have a star, yeah, he hurt, but when he's in the game, it's like he sells the tickets. Like when Kawhi Leonard is out and healthy, he sells the tickets. So for the owners, I think it comes down to
We're
owners
about
and
to be
management too.
in December.
But we
We're
noticed
about
though,
to be in December. He hasn't
they
played.
we noticed, they noticed too. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's a hidden secret that oh shit, Kawhi Leonard or Joel Embiid's hurt. They noticed from the start. This is not something that's like it's new. Now we got to be cautious. They've been new. Joel
So
Embiid
are
wasn't gonna
these
play.
owners? So are these owners scamming the fans? You're saying that to put seats in the to put butts in the seats, bro. But
Yes, it's
Kawhi
a
hasn't
job at
played
the end of
any
the day.
basketball.
It's a job at the end of the day. We're not gonna give up Joel Embiid because he's hurt. Because when he's on the court, he's the hottest attraction in Philly. He just won MVP for them. We're not gonna let him go because he's hurt, bro. They know this. You gotta remember, this is a business at the end of the day. Joel Embiid, when he's on the
The
court, is
hottest
gonna
attract the hottest attraction in Philly is Jared McCain.
he's hooping. We gonna get into that later. He's hooping. Shout out to Jared McCain though and his awkward style, but
I've been, I've
whatever
been,
works
I've been,
works.
I've been watching. Listen, that's a fact. I've been watching Joel Embiid play, bro. It's nasty basketball, bro. Like it's really nasty work. Like I just don't, I don't see, I don't see how. Really, you know what? Let's just, we talked about the viewership, but then we could segue into the Philadelphia 76ers situation.
Right.
Um, I was the one that picked them and the Milwaukee Bucks to meet in the Eastern Conference Finals, right? And I don't like to renege on my pick, so I'm standing on that. But the Philadelphia 76ers is a disaster. I'm not really sure what's going on. They had a team meeting, right? That didn't. I don't know if it worked. It didn't work. I'm not really sure what was said. What who said what to who. I don't know. It got leaked out, and now everyone's beefing about who leaked it out. Their season seems more like a drama show. And I'm not gonna lie. I think now we've come to the point that they're gonna, and this is crazy because they just started this new plan of the big three. They were gonna do this Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, Joel Embiid. I think the Philadelphia 76ers to have to start to look to try to trade Joel Embiid.
Joel Embiid, not Paul George.
I just don't feel like he can help the Philadelphia. Yeah. You just signed Paul George to a 4-year deal, book for 200 plus million.
You just
Like
ex-
I just
but you
like
just
I feel